All right, welcome to The Explainer. I want you to imagine just for a second that we've sat down together in this really quiet, grounded space. Think of a comfortable mountain lodge retreat, miles away from the noise and chaos of your daily routine. Just take a deep breath. Today we're focusing on something incredibly powerful. We're talking about how to take that stagnant, unmoving vision that's stuck in your head and turn it into practiced daily movement. Our roadmap for today is a framework called Advance. It's a system built entirely for people who just know something in their life is ready to change or grow, but they're honestly just utterly exhausted from being stuck in the exact same place.
So here is our retreat itinerary for today. We're going to move logically right from the frustration of being stuck into a highly structured daily practice. We'll cover circling the threshold, becoming the vision carrier, crossing the doorway, building the practice self, the advancement architecture, and finally, move what matters. Let's dive right in. Section 1. Circling the threshold, the exhaustion of being stuck. Let's be real, we all know this exact feeling, right? It's that profound, draining sensation where we absolutely know something needs to change or grow or begin, and yet we just remain entirely frozen. We're standing at the threshold of a new chapter, staring through the glass, but we just keep walking in circles instead of actually turning the handle.
And what's truly fascinating is exactly what keeps us circling in that threshold. It's things like approval seeking, old labels, relying on external validation, role exhaustion. The source material points out that we literally sabotage our own forward movement by getting caught in these traps. We exhaust ourselves by perpetually reopening old doors that lead nowhere. And we waste so much energy debating with the smaller versions of ourselves about whether we're even allowed to move forward. It's not a lack of vision that's the problem. It's the exhaustion of this endless internal debate.
And honestly, that is exactly where Advance comes into play. It's a one-year self-leadership and vision movement app designed specifically to stop that debate cold. It is not just another digital planner, it's a structural intervention. It gives you the scaffolding you need to finally stop circling the threshold and start walking through it, turning your abstract vision into actual practiced movement.
That brings us to Section 2, becoming the vision carrier. Vision needs a carrier. This is the core paradigm shift of the entire Advance framework. The idea here is that just having an idea, it simply isn't enough. We tend to obsess over the inspiration, but we totally neglect the vessel. The crucial takeaway here is that a vision doesn't just need inspiration. It needs a person who has become structurally, emotionally, relationally, and practically available to carry it. I really want you to think about that. This isn't just about setting ambitious goals or slapping together a vision board. This is about asking yourself, have I actually made myself emotionally and practically available for this vision, or is your energy so tied up elsewhere that the vision literally has nowhere to land?
So to become that carrier, you have to develop specific capacities. The human skills required for vision include communication, emotional intelligence, social skill, and relational awareness. The framework makes it crystal clear that vision does not move solely through sheer personal ambition. Vision actually moves through how you speak, how you listen, how you collaborate, repair, decide, and relate to other people. Your human skills are the literal vehicle for your vision.
Let's step into Section 3, crossing the doorway. Stop returning to the old. This is the foundational threshold practice of the app. It's basically a structured mechanism designed to stop us from defaulting back to those old, comforting, yet totally destructive habits the minute things get challenging.
The doorway practice consists of 4 grounding questions. First up, what am I leaving? I actually want you to pause right now and reflect on this. Advancement often requires way more than just starting something new. It demands finally stopping the return to something old. What behaviors, what mindsets, what endless approval-seeking loops do you need to actively drop right now?
The second question immediately shifts your focus forward. What am I entering? Because once you drop the old baggage, you have to consciously define the new space. What is the new posture, the new vision, or the new boundary you are intentionally choosing to step into today? Then we get to the third question, and I absolutely love this one. It's just so profound. What access am I closing? You cannot carry a heavy vision if you are constantly being drained. Moving forward often means you literally have to revoke access. You have to close off access to the people, the habits, or the distractions that relentlessly drain your energy and keep you playing small. And the final question of the doorway, what step am I choosing next? This brings all that high-level, abstract reflection crashing down into immediate, grounded action. You aren't plotting out the next 5 years here. You are just declaring one real, actionable step to take next.
We arrive at Section 4, building the practiced self, knowing versus embodying. Now we get to the massive difference between knowing what you want in your head and actually having the physical, emotional, and structural capacity to do it.
This brilliantly illustrates that exact tension. You see, your authentic self already knows what's true. It knows what matters. But knowing isn't the same as living it, right? The practiced self is what Advance is built to develop. It's the version of you that develops the language, the boundaries, the courage, the routines, and the emotional maturity to actually embody what your authentic self already knows. We spend way too much time trying to just discover our authentic selves, when what we really need is to build our practiced selves.
Part of building that practiced self means learning how to handle fragile ideas. The app calls these not yet sparks. These are the ideas, creative visions, or directions that are alive but just not fully formed yet. Normally, because they aren't perfect right out of the gate, we dismiss them, but the Advanced system protects them, teaching you to give them structure, safety, and just a small breath of action to keep them alive rather than just throwing them away. To house those fragile sparks, the app provides the Visionary Recording Room. This is a dedicated space to capture brainstorms, voice reflections, and emerging possibilities safely, totally, without the pressure of needing them to be finished or polished. It gives you absolute creative freedom, making sure that those not yet sparks have a safe environment to incubate.
Moving along to Section 5, the Advancement Architecture, from macro-vision to micro-action. This is where we shift gears to look at the structural brilliance of the app, because let's be honest, it's one thing to talk about a grand vision. It's another entirely to drill it down into a Tuesday morning.
Let's look at how this timeline cascades. At the top, your yearly vision asks, what am I becoming available for? That funnels right into your 6-month direction, what deserves my devotion in this season? Then your quarterly focus, what part needs concentrated movement? Down to your monthly movement, what must shift? Then your weekly big me step, what meaningful action moves it forward now, until finally it lands on your daily advanced practice. What can I actually practice today? It takes the wildly overwhelming and makes it incredibly granular.
And that daily practice follows a highly specific action-oriented rhythm. 1. Arrive in a line. 2. Cross the doorway, we just learned that one. 3. Shape the communication. 4. Speak to the spark. 5. Take the step. And 6. Save the evidence. This staccato pacing essentially turns the app into a daily, structured retreat. It ensures you aren't just thinking about your vision, you are systematically executing it. Which brings us to our final section, number 6. Move what matters, measuring true progress. We need to completely redefine how we measure success within this framework, because honestly, the old metrics just don't apply when you are building a practiced self.
In this framework, progress is not measured merely by frantically checking off arbitrary goals on a to-do list. Progress is measured through doorways crossed, big me steps taken, old access closed, not yet sparks activated, evidence saved, communication strengthened. You are building tangible evidence that you are actually moving and fortifying those vital human skills. You're measuring your transformation, not just your productivity.
The source material leaves us with this incredible rallying cry. Leave the debate, cross the doorway, take the step, save the evidence, advance what matters. The entire purpose of Advance isn't to turn you into a totally different person. It's simply to help you become practiced enough to confidently live what you already know matters deep down.
So as we wrap up our time together on this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. What is the one big me step you are finally ready to take today? It is time to step out of the waiting room, stop circling the threshold, and start actually carrying your vision forward. Thanks so much for focusing in with me today, and I'll see you on the next explainer.